Good morning, everybody. Matt, the Lumberjack Landlord, here to talk to you about the amazing things that you must have on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We still have time left. Black Friday was a really big event. I spent more than I've ever spent before this Black Friday because, quite frankly, it's been kind of difficult getting some of these materials over the last 2 or 3 years. We've run out in the middle of the year and then been stuck paying retail. We all know how much I hate to pay retail. So, what I wanted to spend time with you guys today was kind of the top 5 things that you need to make sure, if you're a self-managing landlord, need to make sure that these are in your toolbox. Quite frankly, if you're using a project manager or a property manager, you also want to make sure that they have these things in case. What's really cool is that you can buy them on these sites and you can actually have them shipped directly to your PM, or you have them shipped to one of your properties and you just say, hey, we're going to put it in the basement over this other property. These things are absolutely critical to have because they run out of them during the middle of the year when they drop production, and the prices are outrageously more expensive. So I have the 5 things that you need that are going to save you an absolute ton of money, give you consistency throughout your properties, and make sure that you're in good position to not spend anything more than you have to. And quite frankly, every penny saved is a penny earned. We know that on these projects, as I've shared with you guys in the past, I say between 10 and 20% over from cost over what other people spend on their projects. Guys, that goes directly to the bottom line. That's profit. That's profit. If you're not spending that money, the return is that much faster and that much greater. This is why I implore you, if you're a self-managing landlord planning on getting into that space, you need to make sure, quite frankly, even if you have a property manager, you should buy these things and send them to them because they are worth their weight in gold. So without further ado, and this is in no particular order because I tried to rank them and I was just kind of like, I mean, it depends on where you are in the project. So the absolute very first thing that you must have, and this is something that you need to do after, even if you're searching, just searching for properties, need one of these things. What is this, you ask? This is a outlet tester. Yes, very, very cool. Very important. Something that can save you a ton of money. Know this going into buying a property. If it's a newer property, yeah, it's probably not going to be a thing. However, doesn't hurt to pop this thing in a couple of outlets. So it's actually, this one's made by Klein Tools. I don't say that you have to buy a Klein tool one. Quite frankly, they're the Rolls Royce of power tools or electrical tools. You don't have to buy the Rolls Royce of it. This is the Rolls Royce. This is what I have. We always have a spare because we have one in all of our bags. We have basically what I call a go bag. And that is if there's an emergency, I have a bag of kind of like top 40 tools that I would need to fix anything. This is one of the things that I use during my process of walking through a property. I'll just take a quick second, plug it into the outlet in the bathroom. That's the one you usually want to check. Then you plug it into the outlet next to the kitchen sink. That's another one you definitely want to check. But this is a tester. What this will tell you is it will tell you all of the different things. If it's grounded, if it's not grounded, if it's actually wired correctly, if it's an open ground, if it's an open neutral. Now, here's the best part. You don't have to know what any of that stuff means. Quite frankly, you don't. All you need to do is know that it is a problem. If it's not correctly wired, ... it is a problem. If you hit that and maybe 1 out of the 6 that you hit isn't properly wired, okay, mental note, no big deal. If all 6 of them are a problem, or 4 out of 6 of them, you probably have a bigger issue. Why? Because it means that the house probably wasn't wired properly. Maybe they're tied into knob and tube. That's old wiring. Maybe it's just a hack job, wire job, because heaven knows I've seen plenty of those. I literally saw a job that they had wire nutted a bunch of stuff in the attic. No boxes, no nothing. I mean, open insulation around it, total fire hazard. That's sometimes how we find things. Now, how did I find that? Well, I had to ask to get up into the attic because I saw that there were a bunch of issues with outlets. It's a preemptive step. So, implore you, this is one of the things that you must get in your list of things to get. I love my outlet tester. Walk every property with one. Clint LeClaire, aces, my friend, aces. Clint LeClaire is also a graduate of the Lumberjack Landlord Bootcamp. All right, number two. Yes, I'm rolling out a picture. This isn't professional television. I'm a landlord. Dear God. So you guys know that I always implore you to buy the digital locks. You guys can find those digital locks right now. You can find them at Home Depot. By the way, any of this stuff, this is a Home Depot thing for sure. But you could, or Amazon, Cyber Monday, but look for them. You know, outlet tester, receptacle tester is what this one's called. The second thing that you want to be looking at is the electronic door handles. Now, they're door locks, the deadbolts. Now, when you're looking at those, we've changed brands to Defiant. We've been using Defiance now for 2 years. In the last 2 years, we've only had one go dead in the field, just one. And that's out of about 120, 130 of them deployed. Those are pretty good numbers. The ones that I used to recommend, the quick set that then changed into then they were Brinks for a while. Now they've been sold to another company. Do not buy those locks anymore. The quality has completely changed. The quality is junk now. They're absolute garbage. We are replacing a bunch of those. We thought, hey, you know what? They just sold the company. They should be fine. They're manufacturing to the same specs. They aren't. Something changed. They're doing something different. They're complete junk if you buy them now. I'm actually going to go back and take that link down because this last week we replaced 2 of them. Complete garbage. So what I would recommend is those digital Defiant made, and they're on sale right now. Again, Home Depot, Black Friday, but also look for Cyber Monday. $42. I don't have them handy there for you, but let me just look it up on the phone real quick. I actually looked for one of them before I came down to my studio /office, and I could not find one. But I will actually tell you exactly which one it is so I can show it to you guys and make sure that you guys get the right one. Let's see here. There we go. Castle Satin Nickel Compact Touch Electronic Single Cylinder. They are $35.99. Guys, that's the cheapest that they've ever been. Hold on, let me see if I can get this thing in here. There, get my face out of it. That's the one you're looking for, guys, right there. That we have literally dozens upon dozens of those deployed. There's that one. If you want to go a little bit more expensive, you can go a little bit more expensive. I also have gone up to, there's one that they make in matte black, but any of those Defiants, they're really just the metal style that there is on the outside. Absolutely love those things. Now, the first thing that everyone complains about is, but Matt, it doesn't come with a handle. Or even worse, it actually comes with a handle and it's a lock handle. You have no idea how many of those freaking lock handles I have. They're completely useless. Why? Because people lock them. And if they lock the handle, then guess what? You can't get in because it's not coated. Oh, sweet Lord. The ridiculousness, right? So we actually, here's the next big product tip. Contractor box. You might not be a contractor, but you can play like you are one. So this Defiant contractor box, this is called the Hartford Collection. I actually like this finish of knob. We use this knob as a handle. It doesn't have any locking mechanism. It's completely clear on both sides, but here's why you buy the contractor pack. You go buy these and they're about $10.99 each, $10.98, depending on what the number is that day at Home Depot. So that's pretty cool. However, right now, Black Friday, they still have some in stock. You got to buy at least a couple boxes. I know I bought about 8 boxes. But this was something that they ran out of. They didn't have contractor packs. They weren't selling contractor packs anymore. For months last year, or for months this year, excuse me, they weren't selling contractor packs anymore. And these were, they're like $10.98 a piece, and then you can buy 6 for $59. Yeah, let me blow your mind. $29. $29. Yeah. That's why I bought 8 boxes. Yeah, 48 handles. We're going to upgrade a bunch of stuff this year. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to buy more boxes because at $5 a piece, you will never beat that. You're just never going to beat $5 for a quality handle. And this is a quality handle. It sits properly in all of our doors. It's got the rounded edges, not the square edges. So look at that. So when you see this plate right here where the bolt comes out of, or the close mechanism, make sure that this edge is rounded. Sorry, you'll see it rounded right there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, there you go, right there. There's focus. See how that's rounded right there. This is the 6-pack. Again, $29, guys. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm no joke. I bought like 8 of them, and I'm gonna have to buy I'll probably have to buy 6 or 8 more. Like, this is just something that we do all the time where we swap out these locks. And again, you're only as strong as your weakest link. The weakest link that you're going to have is when you show up or your property manager shows up to a unit, and guess what? They can't get in because they were able to fix the deadbolt, but they weren't able to fix the key, the handle. Like, so dumb. We were so excited the year that we saw those, and I was like, wow, that's a super value. And then we put them into one duplex, and then I was like, oh my word, we just created a key problem for ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. Craziness. And again, the best thing about those knobs, just no issues whatsoever. Once we install them, it's set it and forget it. Same thing with the digital locks too. We use those. Clint brings up a great point as well. We use those for room shares. Where we have, where the tenants have a lot of friends and they're rooming together. That's also why we use solid core doors, because let's face it, a non-solid core door, I can put my foot through. I can donkey kick that thing open. There's enough flex in that door. Donkey kick is when you basically turn around and you basically put your foot flat on the door, and then you cock it back and then you let it rip. I can push a door open. I can put my foot through it. That's why we use solid core doors. You can't do that with those. You're likely going to hurt your hip, hurt your knee, hurt your ankle. And quite frankly, if you're kicking one of my doors, you should get hurt. So those are the first 3 items. So we covered the receptacle tester, must have, and even as you're walking through properties. Number 2, you must have this door lock and keypad combo. Here's the thing, guys. The landlords, right? Or the property managers, they're going to charge you $200. Oh yeah, we have a kit that we use. It's $200, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and good news, it's Wi-Fi. I don't really like the Wi-Fi. I don't really like the Wi-Fi version. I don't. Maybe if you're Airbnb-ing, okay, maybe. But I don't really love the Wi-Fi version. Let's face it, stuff as it gets more digitized gets much more easily hacked, right? I like stuff that's called air-gapped. It's not connected to the internet. It's completely its own device. And the only way that you're going to get one of those digital keypad things done is if you have a key, the ones that aren't connected. I've never seen one of those broken into other than the old fashioned way. And I don't want to open myself up to somebody getting hacked or something like that, because then whose responsibility is it, right? Like, then they're going to play that game. It's like, hey, if somebody breaks into the old door, look, that's not my fault. They broke into a doorknob. If somebody breaks into something digitally, does that same rule still apply? I don't know. A little bit squishy. Not really sure I want to get there. So next is, you guys are going to peek and see what the next thing is. Here's the next thing. Vanity lights. These things are absolutely beautiful. They usually run about $189 to $119. $89 to $119. It's a home decorators collection. This is a fantastic triple light. Triple light, this thing is just big. It's big enough for a 24-inch, but also if you go all the way to 36 inches on your vanity, this thing is big enough. This thing is big enough. The cool thing is you don't have to hang it up like this where they're up like that. You can literally flip the thing upside down and hang it like that. No joke. You can hang it both ways. I love it. I totally dig it. They are absolutely awesome. And they are super cheap. $59. Guys, $59. Kid you not, just bought 6 of them. Now, 6 is probably a little bit light for me. I'm probably going to go online. I'm probably going to order 6 or 8 more, because this saves me $40 to $50. Every single time I buy one of these, $40 to $50 I save. It's not one of those things where somebody's like, oh, you get this old nasty, thing. You're trying to redo your bathroom. Guys, for $60, are you joking? Like, that and a new mirror completely changed the outlook. Then you do a vanity. By the way, best deals. Here's some bonus content. Best deals on vanities right now, by far, Wayfair. Look at their Black Friday and Cyber Monday savings. There's absolutely opportunity for you guys to crush it out there. I bought, and again, you don't have to buy all this volume. I'm not saying buy 50. I'm not saying that, but this is the way I do my business. This is why when I look at it at the end of the year, I make a lot more money. I have much higher returns. I still debit it out of quote unquote inventory, but I still saved myself an absolute fortune. And this thing, oh my word, the return on this, these things range in price from 15 to 30 bucks. You can say, I mean, this one little device can save you a few $1,000s on a house. Yeah, I've had it happen. I've had 2 houses that had bad electrical. Found it with this in my walkthrough. Just saying. So Cyber Monday, again, even Black Friday stuff carrying over. Make sure when you're looking at the Wayfair site, set up for the alerts and then shut them off in a week or two. But because the alerts are hugely freaking annoying. But again, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. This light setup, amazing. Now, that light setup, not complete. Why is it not complete? Because it doesn't have the really cool bulbs with it. Now, if you go into most of these stores, they sell these cool Edison bulbs, and they're between 9 and 18 bucks. Holy crap, that's expensive. So you're looking at, okay, well, I'm going to spend 18 bucks on that. I'm going to spend 120 on the vanity light. And so I need 3 of them. So all in, I'm going to be like $180, 174 if you want to get picky. So I'm 174 bucks into changing out a vanity light, right? That's enough to make any landlord's blood shoot out of their eyeballs. Like, that's crazy money, right? 174 bucks to change the light. And that's before you even try and wire it yourself. Probably don't do that. Or you have an electrician doing it, right? And then it's another chunk of money on top of there. When I stack this stuff, there's a reason I stack it the way that I do, because I'll have the electrician come in and change some switches, change some fixtures. I'll have them add some of the pancake lights. By the way, I'm coming up with a phenomenal way to price that stuff, where I'm able to figure out exactly what that's going to cost. But I'm telling you, being able to do some things like this, even though, hey, I have got, I'm a landlord with 6 bathrooms. Okay, I'm a landlord with 210. But when I was poor, kid you not, when I was poor, I still look forward to Black Friday. I would save up for Black Friday because I knew I was going to need those things over the next 6 months. It cost me nothing. I don't carry a big balance on my credit cards, so it cost me nothing. I was just like, I'll just buy it now. Penny saved is a penny earned. It's not like I was going to turn that 20 bucks, that I was taking that 20 bucks or 30 bucks or 50 bucks or 500 bucks or 1,000 bucks. I was taking it out of savings. What was I getting paid on it there? Yeah, I wasn't getting paid that much. So the amount of money that I save on just these strategic product purchases, I've done it for years. I did it when I was a small landlord. I did it when I had 10 units. I still do it when I have 137. Soon to be, I think, 145 or 146. We have to redo our counts. We'll do them for the end of the year. But this is something, again, these 4 items, the battery tester, the digital door lock, which is Defiant. You can buy the Castle version, which is about 35 bucks. And you can buy the next version up, which we have, which is taller and more square. That one's running about $42. And then the doorknobs, the keyless doorknobs, made also by Defiant, 6 for 28 bucks. And then lastly, let me go down and get it. I'm not going to do the fake stare thing. I'm not a 5-year-old. The light bulbs, we were just talking about them. Here's a 2-pack. These are LED, but they look like Edison's. This is a cheat code on both sides. Cheat code because it's much lower consumption. Love that. And cheat code because it's newer technology, but you can get a much better price. Me personally, I like the daylight brightness. If you've got these lovely ladies, what they really want to see is they want to be able to see their face. When they sit down in front of their mirror, they want to see their face, right? If you use the soft light ones, they can't see their face. They can't. You don't want soft light. Why? Because outside isn't soft light. Outside's bright and aggressive. You want to make sure that you're setting those ladies up for a day of success. Men, forget it. That ship has sailed for you. Doesn't matter. But for the ladies, we buy the nice light bulbs. Now, these light bulbs, again, usually anywhere from 9 to 18 bucks a piece. 2 for $9. 2 for $9. Yep, no joke. 2 for $9. Yep. They might even have been better than that. Where's my receipt? I think they were actually better than that. Anyway, saw them, knew it was super cheap. Bought 20 packs. Now, why did I buy these things? Because again, they're a normal item. They're always there for, like I said, they're like 12 bucks, 10 bucks, 12 bucks or something like that a piece. I can go buy them anytime I want, but I know I'm going to go through them. I know I'm going to need them. And they make that light fixture pretty awesome. So you're looking at 174 bucks that with proper shopping, I brought down to about 60, 70, 75 bucks. So you're less than half the price. Now, if you're able to do all of the vanities in your units for less than half price, that means it's more than 2 for the price of 1. Guys, the math works. And this is how you steadily upgrade your units and get them looking better than your competition. They don't care. They're not decorators. They don't care about aesthetic. What do? They put some crappy light fixture up there, or they put these ugly light bars, you know, with the bulb lights, with the globe lights. Oh my word, those things are so ugly and tacky, you know, but they make them new. They still make them today, and they cost like $30. You want that for 30 bucks or this for more? It just shows that you care a little bit more about the details. And people are going to rent from people that care about those little details, like the screwless plates and things like that, all that other stuff. Yeah, we've got a big long list of things we're putting together. Here's all the things that we purchased a lot in 2023. And again, these things, Home Depot, still a super special. There's been some decent deals on Wayfair, but I got to be honest, I haven't used a bunch of those bulbs from Wayfair. So I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know that they're going to be great. They were a great deal. So I'm going to try them out. And then maybe I have something to talk to you guys about next year. However, these things, or maybe end of year sale. Yeah, probably the New Year's sale. But these things, they're fantastic. You buy a couple packs. Now, here's what you do. You don't squirrel away the one extra one. You buy a couple packs, and then what do? You put the box in a cabinet there at your location, not your location, at the location of your unit. And then what happens when they go out? Guess what? Pop out and twist. Brand new one matches the other ones. You're not going to have an issue. I know. Great idea. So those are the, well, hopefully I didn't break those. But those are the 5 items that I think you guys need to be paying attention to the most. Those are little things that can drastically improve your experience as a landlord, drastically improve your curating capabilities with your tenants, and more importantly, save some major dough. I mean, I look at the door locks. Those are, it's inevitable. You're going to go through 2 of those in every single unit, at least. And here's the best part. You can use those for interior doors too. Yep. No joke. No joke. I mean, put them on hall closets and things like that. Like, go nuts. It's just at $5 a piece, you're not going to beat that price. Like, I'm going to break Home Depot and I'm going to buy so many of those freaking things, because even when I buy them, even if I buy them overseas and I buy them in bulk from overseas, they're not less than $5. They're right around that. But by the time you finish freight and time and all this other garbage, they end up being right around the same exact thing. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful to you guys. As I always say, we try and create great content for you. And that's why you come to watch the Lumberjack Landlord, because I still do and manage all of my units. So let's jump into some of the questions. Mandy, good morning. Dividend Dave. Oh, so nice of you to make an appearance, Dividend Dave. Dividend Dave's been absent the last few weeks. Makes me wonder what he's doing. Oh, my goodness. All-nighter, good morning. Richard, good morning. Stoners, good morning. Made it working, but here. Hey, that's all that matters, my man. We're all working. I know it's crazy. BuzzTune, good morning. Frank, good morning. Josh Coster, good morning. Man, there's a lot of people in the course in that list. A lot of boot camp alums. Dividend Dave is a boot camp alum. Frank Contreras is a boot camp alum. Josh Kosh is a boot camp alum. Clint is a boot camp alum. Clint, look, there's Clint again. Yeah, lots of, oh, there's CJ again, boot camp alum. Let's see. Clint LeClaire, good morning. Josh Koster, good morning. Frank Contreras, good morning, Matt. Sending you great Wi-Fi wishes. Thank you very much. Financial Firefighter, what's up, Mark? Good morning. Kip, SOS Investments, good morning. Happy holidays, buddy. You as well. Clint LeClaire, love my outlet tester. I walk every property with one. Guys, you got to do it. It's a money saver. It helps you print money. Like, you can't see it, but the money comes out right here. Just kidding. But this is a critically important piece. Stop leaving everything up to everyone else. Stop. Become elite yourself. Become a master of what you're doing yourself. That's what I did. You know, I can walk a house and no construction guy's going to talk over my head. No electrician's going to talk over my head. Or BS explain me through something. How do you think I don't get ripped off by contractors? That last contractor who tried to rip me off, I won. I won. I won. He tried to give me a bill for 31.7. He walked away at 22.2. Yeah, 31.7, 22.2. Why? Because I was able to walk him through every single thing. And he said, why should I pay for this? And why should I pay for that? And you can't charge me the same thing for 2 guy days as you did for 3 guy days. It's taking care of my business. A property manager is not going to do that for you. They generally care, but they're clock and punch. They're punching clocks. Easy for me to say. Care about your business. No one should care about your money more than you. And if you're paying somebody to care about your money more than you, I get news for you. They probably still don't. They probably still don't. People do what's inspected, not what's expected. I teach my guys this every single week, and they're contractors that we work with. They're guys that do most of their work for us, and I talk to them about it all the time. I go, guys, people don't do what's expected. They do what's inspected. If they know that you're going to inspect it, they will do it. If they know that you're not going to inspect it, I can promise you're going to end up with a worse job. And if you inspect it and it's not to quality, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. There's nothing wrong with that. The world works when everybody does their job. Oscar, good morning. Laura, good morning. CJ, good morning. Let's wrap up this year on a good note. I'm trying, CJ. Invest to Wealth. Good morning, Matt and everyone. Good morning. Quentin LeClaire, digital lock plus keyless knob is awesome for co-living college kids. It totally is. We have them heavily deployed. So we talk about the digital keypad, right? So we have a couple of those per unit, and I don't think we have 100% of our units deployed, but we're mostly deployed. So call it, we got 225 of those in the field. Think about doorknobs, guys. Think about doorknobs. I got 2 digitals, but how many doorknobs do I have in a typical house? Typically 7, 10, 12. In some of my bigger units, 15 or 16. I might average 12. 12 times, call it 137 is, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of doorknobs. It's a lot of doorknobs. And so when you look at it, you figure that, geez, you're talking about a couple thousand doorknobs. Think about how much money I have into doorknobs. Makes blood shoot out of my eyeballs. It's crazy. I do the same deadbolts. Defiant. BF. My dude. Happy holidays, Lumberjack. Back at you, BF. Rob. Hail to the Jack. Thank you, Rob. Bill O'Connell. Hey, Bill O'Connell. Good morning. Elise, fire me, please. Good morning, Elise. Corby Carter. Quite busy today, but wanted to say hello, Misfits. You kids have fun. I'll catch all the good deals in Futureland. Corby, always good to have you. Again, Lumberjack, Landlord, Boot Camp alum. Robert Farinelli, Lumberjack, Landlord, Boot Camp alum. I agree with the outlet tester. Saves a ton of money for an electrician. Exactly. Keith Hager, good morning. LL's landlords, where do you park your dry powder while you are shopping? While you're shopping the market? So it really depends. I don't want my money ever locked up. And so I've gone to in the beginning of next year, in the beginning, because I don't like to transfer things during the year. It makes it kind of a pain in the ass to manage. But we'll go into a high yield savings account with a good bank and have multiple accounts, FDIC and DIF. If you guys haven't watched my video on DIF, yeah, that's how crazy my hair is. If you haven't seen my video on DIF, you need to go watch it because it's important and it will save you likely $250,000. And I'm learning more about credit unions. Doing a couple deals with a credit union. About my network. It's about the network, guys. It's not about anything else. It's about the network. Understanding how to navigate a credit union. They're non-for-profit. So they have to take the money that they make and reinvest it into the organization. They're non-for-profit. Some interesting things there. But I'll let you guys know more. So yeah, where am I parking right now? It's just parked in a regular savings account. Usually when you start to get bigger, your banks want to see that you have reserves. They like it when you keep it with them. However, we'll see. Lisa Ferry, she's a boot camp alum. That's true. Love your course. Thank you. You're welcome, Lisa. I love that you took my course and that you loved it. Guys, there is no doubt in my mind, if you want to skill up in 2024, take my course. I don't know how else to tell you. Take my course, try and get into a boot camp. Guys, there's still boot campers now that still meet. Now that the boot camp is over, they still meet together. It's like an accountability group. It's absolutely freaking awesome. And they run it. I have nothing to do with it. They ask me every once in a while to speak or show up, and I try to. But guys, the network that you create here, understanding what else is going on around the country, understanding what other people have done to do a cool deal or not, guys, it's its own secret society. It's freaking awesome. And these guys are all doers. Like there's wholesalers in that group. There's PMs in that group. There's major businessmen in that group that own close to 100 units. Like the stuff that you can still learn ongoing. And that's no charge. That's free. They do it. They do all that stuff. It's worth its weight in gold. Like if you're really serious about landlording and you want to find a way to cut your costs, and there's no doubt in my mind, that if you buy the course in the boot camp, there's no doubt in my mind that you save that money in the next 12 months easily. Easily. There's just no doubt in my mind whatsoever. There is so much gold there. Product stuff. We talk about products all the time. We talk about how you can do a deal, how you can shortchange and pay less at closing. We talk about all that stuff, maintenance, management, everything, how to deal with tenants, the letters that we use for tenants. Oh my word. It's ridiculous. And now we're supposed to get our final lead certification. I think it's next week or the following week. And as soon as we finish that, I'm going to put together everything to do a lead video. No extra charge for people that are in the course. You guys will get access to it. And it is by far the best course that you will ever find on how to interact with the EPA, on how to manage a lead project and not get $1,000 a day fines. Yeah, no joke. $1,000 a day. Yep. There's no doubt in my mind that's the best value on the internet. Corby Carter, one question. Considering getting my range oven for the pending kitchen reno. Yep. Already know where the cabinets are coming from. Very cool. Corby is getting access to wholesale cabinets. We buy high-end stuff. In fact, walk the Home Depot. I just did it this morning. I walked the Home Depot and I went there and I started slamming a bunch of the doors. Somebody came over finally after number 10. Can I help you? No, I'm good. Their cabinets are not nice. They're not as nice as what we sell. They aren't. And the only way you get access to those right now is in the boot camp. I don't want to run a cabinet business. I want to help investors that are investing in themselves. So we sell wholesale. We don't share a lot about that because I don't know that we're supposed to be selling wholesale. But so long as I can place an order and they drop ship, the rest I don't care about. Last chance. Nope. Pass. Let's see. The one I want is approximately 50% off the floor model, I believe. Yeah, I don't mind buying floor models. They've not been turned on. They've not been used. I don't mind buying floor models. I buy them all the time. I buy scratch and dent. If it's on the side panels and it's pocketed away, or it's on the back panel or the back corners crunched in, I don't care about that stuff. If it's a little tiny scratch, even on the front, I don't care. I've bought $2,000. You guys saw it. It was on my Instagram. I bought $14,000 worth of appliances for $3,000 because they were scratch and dents. $3,000. You know what? If I wanted them perfect, I can call all of those companies. I can order the panels for all of them. It'd be like another $2,000. But then I'd have perfect brand new looking appliances that didn't have any damage to them for less than half price. Guys, this is where you make up the money. This is why my returns are what they are, is because I save money on every part of it. I save money on the transaction. I'm able to increase rents. I'm able to drastically reduce my costs on rehab. I'm able to drastically reduce the costs on products that I'm using. This is the magic, guys. This is the magic. Yeah, so Corby, to answer your question, I absolutely buy floor models. Absolutely buy them. Usually they're pickups where you have to pick them up. And then in that particular case, it depends. Do you have a garage that you can store it in still in the box? That sort of a thing. That's what really depends. That's really dependent on kind of the other factors. But yeah, I love floor models at half price. Flavio Macias. Good morning from Washington. Good morning, Flavio. Good to have you here. Thanks for bringing some Flavio. Lisa, you are a boot camp alum. Love your course. Glad you do. Robert Farinelli. I wish I could buy all this stuff, but bad things always like to happen to me. Like my car battery just died. Exactly. David and Dave. I've been teaching my wife how to drive Lumberjack. Oh, very good. Or bad. Or good. Or bad. Minnie W. Is Butcher Block countertop durable enough to put in a rental? Yes. I put them in. I have them in dozens. Or would you recommend something else? No. I don't mind spending a little more to get something that will last. These will last. The key to it is epoxy. It's the epoxy that you use. That's the key. The really cool thing about epoxy is that if it scratches, if there's an issue, whatever, you can literally take a butane torch to it and it gets soft again and you can fix it. No joke. Swear. That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah. It becomes gummy again and it becomes malleable. So you can literally get scuff marks out of it. You can get all sorts of things out of it. Yep. It's far more durable. We like to epoxy. It gives a great look. It's very durable. It has to be FDA grade epoxy. That's what we use. But yeah, we've had no bad luck with them and we've been able to easily repair them, So, and I'll put that product to a test over anything else you choose. If you try and do granite, you will spend 10 times the amount of money, maybe even maybe 8 times, but 8 to 10 times more money. We do our counters for less than $400. Less than $400. And that includes labor, epoxy, and the butcher block. Butcher blocks have gone up a little bit. They're about $270 for an 8-footer, but an 8-footer usually meets our needs for most kitchens. Sometimes we're 2 8-footers. But the work, isn't that much extra. You just set up another set of sawhorses and you epoxy another one. Doesn't take that much more time. So, and epoxy is really cool. Epoxy, it's just a pour. You literally just go over the wood and you just pour it like this. No joke. And you don't need designs. You can still get that beautiful raw wood look. It looks like a bar top. It's never stopped anybody from drinking, right? So yeah, I highly recommend Butcher Block. I mean, I can do my kitchens for much less money. Much less money. I mean, you guys can look on my Instagram, Lumberjack Landlord. Look at the Instagram, the numbers. I mean, it crushes, absolutely crushes. Richie Gamino, the lights you use, are they 60 watt, 5000K, 840 lumens? The pancake lights, yes. Well, they end up, so they're 60 watt equivalent. These are 60 watt equivalents. When they say 60 watts, where'd the box go? Oh, the slide dropped. Yeah, those are 60 watt. That's because that's what they basically look like. But that's the thing with the LED stuff, like the pancake lights. I buy the 5000 Kelvin bright lights, but they're 60 watt power, but it only uses 12 watts. That's the key. That's where, if you think about it, right, you look at a typical boob light. I know I'm a 5-year-old, but you look at a typical boob light that has 2 or 3 lights in it. Usually they have 2. That's 2 60 watt bulbs. It's 120 watts. If you put in 4 pancake lights, it's 48. You've literally cut your cost, to a third. You've literally cut your cost to basically a third, or 40%, So if you're at 40% the cost for those things to run, everybody's going to realize when you do that in every single room, they're going to be like, okay, well, I saved in this room. It was, 60 watts, or it was 70 watts here and 70 watts in this room and 70 watts in this room and 70 watts in this room. And then, 120 watts in the kitchen. It all adds up, guys. It all adds up. And that's where you're optimizing your units. That's what I always talk about. Acquisition, stabilization, optimization. That's an optimization move. But again, and is the tenant usually paying that? Yeah, the tenant's usually paying that, but they're going to see that their electric bills go lower. That's the idea. I want them getting lower bills. That means they're going to stick around longer. You can show them and say, hey, look, the typical, electric bill here is $180 and your electric bill is 110. How is that possible? Well, I'm just not home that much. No, that's not why. It's because everything that I did in the house was made to be energy efficient. So it's $70 a month, times an entire year. Yeah. $840. That's a pretty awesome deal. And that's where I want to help my people through that process. Gina DePippa, good morning. Signed up and ready for the next live boot camp sessions. I'm super excited to have you, Gina. Any recommendations for hardwired smoke fire alarms? Me personally, there are two big players out there. One of them's First Alert and one of them's Kidda. And me personally, I've had more issues with the First Alerts. So I like the Kidda ones. If you're going with the hardwired ones, you can get a great deal on those. Here's what I recommend, and it's not something a lot of people do. You can actually, typically in the basement and that first floor, you're going to want to do a CO. That's usually what code is, carbon monoxide and smoke combo. And if they're hardwired, you're good. And then you do the same, and then you do the regular ones throughout the rest of the house. If you're doing the ones that are connected via Wi-Fi, i.e. that they're brought off of normal direct power, off of an outlet or something like that, and that's not plug-in, that's like hidden in the wall. So if you tap off of that, then I just do COs everywhere because those two don't talk together. It's a long story, but we can talk about that in the boot camp. That's kind of more in depth. I could spend a half an hour on smoke detectors. And you guys have already slept today, so I won't put you back to sleep. Rob, you haven't succeeded in teaching your wife to drive until she can back up a trailer. That's a high bar, Rob. Rob going at Dividend Dave. Keith Hager, good to know I'm on track. You are. Yep. With my dry powder. Yep. What is diff? I have a high yield in 4 banks and 3 credit unions. How can I deal with the 250 FDIC and NCUA? So in the banks, you only have a 250 FDIC. In the credit unions, you have a 250 NCUA. If you find banks in Massachusetts, you can get access to DIF, which is Deposit Insurance Fund. It's run from a state perspective. I have a full video on it, Keith. I spent a bunch of time putting that video together, so go watch that one. But long story short is you can put those deposits in a main bank account, in a main bank, in a Mass bank, Massachusetts, not Maine. And you can put them in a Massachusetts bank, and then you get access to not only FDIC, which is the first $250K, but DIF, which is every penny thereafter. Not 250. FDIC covers you up to 250. DIF covers you after 250. Just saying. These are the things that I've spent years trying to find. Protect ourselves. Dion, what's up, buddy? Dion, fantastic live stream yesterday about how his friend lost $100,000 listening to Peter Schiff. What's really interesting, well, the first version of it wasn't very good. You couldn't hear anything, but the second version was excellent. Key, good morning, sir. Good to see you. Matt, you are a humble, great man, educated professional with a great attitude. Oh, look up. Thank you very much. Most people that know me don't think I'm humble. They think I'm a big, huge, arrogant jerk. And that's okay. It's all right. I have lots of friends. I don't need any more. I'm good. I like spending time with people that want to learn. And I think that we can make fun of ourselves. I think we can have fun doing this. It isn't rocket science. But if somebody's going to poke me, then I'm going to poke them back or punch them back, because I just don't have time for the noise. And I'm not going to let it go unchecked. I'm not going to let them act like an insolent child telling me how my business is. No, it's not. It's not that way at all. What's really funny is, so I'm blessed enough to spend time with really good friends at Thanksgiving. We've been doing Friendsgiving for about a decade. And these are guys that I love. These are my ride or dies. I can pick up the phone. I can call them and talk to them about anything. These are my best friends, some of my best friends. And I've got probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 ride or dies, where I can pick up the phone and I know they will help me with whatever it is, maybe even a body. Generally not. I don't want to test that though. So what's really interesting in spending time with those guys, they all own businesses. They all own businesses. The live stream that I did last week where everybody's talking about crash, crash, crash. One of those guys that I had Thanksgiving with was the one that I spent 45 minutes. He's camera shy. I spent 45 minutes with him hanging out, talking about his business. And he owns a massive business that has tripled in size in the last 2 years. And he has more work than he knows what to do with. He's launching 3 new divisions. He's an amazing operator. Amazing operator. What I will tell you is that there is a crash coming. I don't know when it is. There's definitely a correction coming, and that's going to happen sooner than the crash. But from what I see in his books, this is the ability that I had to talk about these things, is because I'm talking to people that are doing the work every single day. Not like some poser douche who just decided to give up his day job because he wasn't making any money, and now he's made YouTube his full-time gig. Like, oh dear God, I couldn't live on so little money. It's crazy. Millennial Mike, $5. Thanks, buddy. Difference between arrogance and confidence. That Lumberjack confidence was earned, like the video. Hey, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Mike is a good friend. He's definitely a ride or die. We message all through the week. I'm genuinely interested in his life and his son, James, and his family, and what he's doing and what he's up to and how he's grown. His latest video, you guys got to check it out. It's probably one of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen. It's truly amazing. It gives you the blueprint. It truly gives you the blueprint of how to go from nothing and small to big and amazing. Mike's first 5 years were good. They were, really good. His next 5 years are probably going to be great. They're probably going to be better than my next 5 years, based on where he is in his business. And so, for you guys that are newer viewers or newer investors, definitely watch that video. He walks through every single one of his deals, talks about every single one of his deals. The whole purpose of the Lumberjack Landlord course was to get you guys to see that it's smoke and mirrors. You can do this. I know you can. I did it. I had no construction experience. None. Zero. And now there's not a whole lot I don't know about construction. And guess what? If I don't know it, I ask. It's that simple, so I can learn it. I torture people sometimes. I'm just like, whoa. I have some questions about that. Appraisers, inspectors, electricians, plumbers. I'm obnoxious. I want to know this stuff because it's going to protect me in the future. And they won't know that maybe I've got another plumber or another electrician. They might tell them to me, give me a story. Guess what? I heard from this other guy. That's not how this works. And that's what gets you there. That's what we do in the course. That's what I want to spend times with you guys on, because that's the biggest advantage. That course will save you X's. It will save you X's. There's so much there. So look up, I appreciate you saying, like I said, most people think I'm a jerk, and that's fine. I'm good with that. I just like to have fun. Let's see. Josh Burdick, what backsplash do you put with your butcher block? Oh, Josh Burdick, what are you doing to me? I'm going to show it to you. Next week, I'm hoping. Oh, man, I'm hoping. Next week, I'm hoping we're done the other 3 units at that place that I walked with Millennial Mike. Watch the channel from whenever Mike was here earlier in the year. It was January or February. We did a walkthrough of that project. That project took a lot longer. I know, took a lot longer. It wasn't our fault. It was a lot of inspection issues. It was a lot of, I think 6 contractors got fired over that job. But we were there walking that property because really nothing had been done at that point. It was just a shell, and we were just getting ready to start the project. But I would tell you, watch that video, and next week I'm going to do a video live from that building. So we're going to do a live video from that building. We'll walk through it together, and you guys will see what finished product looks like, and you'll see what a templated approach does and how much money, time, and effort and energy it saves. So the backsplash that we use, Josh, is we use tin panels. No joke. You go to buy the plastic panels from Home Depot, Lowe's, any of the big box stores, the plastic panels, and they are $20 to $25 a piece, and they are 2 square feet. We can use metal. We can refinish it any color, spray paint. and we can then clear coat it, and then we mount them. And they're super easy to cut. They look absolutely freaking amazing and super high end. And again, we can pick up off of any accent color that we want to use in the place. They're the nuts. I'll show those products. I'll pull all that information out, but yeah, we use tin, and I buy it by the what are they? They're not 2x2. Are they 2x2? Might be 2x2. Yeah, they're 2x2 sheets. 2x2 sheets, and they're less than $8 a sheet. It product blows it away, highly customizable, beats anything that you're going to find in a store. Certainly tile or anything like that, it's a fraction of the price. Jerneil Diaz, what a fantastic topic. Thanks, Matt. You're welcome, Jerneil. Congratulations, new dad. I celebrated this morning by getting puked on 3 times by my daughter. It was awesome. Gotta see it. Real good. Picked it up at Walmart. Look up great property investments going on in Shaulo and Golden Valley, Arizona. Cool. There's markets everywhere, guys. There's markets everywhere. All-Nighter Hider. Really look up? Are you investing there? My parents have a property in Bullhead. Interesting. Basilia Alcantara. Hello, everybody. Hello, Basilio. Good to have you here. Mike, thanks again for the super chat. Hey, Rob, I taught your mom to back up a trailer. No mom jokes. Then I'm going to have to jump in. Oh, man. Oh, no, there we go. Dave, I read that with the voice of Uncle Rico. That's good. BF, do you think real estate prices are going to drop or crash? If yes, what do you think will cause prices to drop if they haven't already dropped? Great question, Rob. BF, sorry. I do think they're going to go down. I think they're going to go down between 10 and 20%. I think that's going to happen by end of 24. Their median. So let me preface this by saying what I track is the median median existing home sales price. Why do I pick that one? Well, because new homes is a different animal, right? And that's a fraction of the market. New homes coming online, and they're subsidizing their sales. Who knows what that's going to look like in a year? Let's talk about the broader market. The broader market is existing home sales, existing homes. So as I look at existing homes, here's what I believe is happening. I believe that the move-up buyer has largely disappeared because they're going to see their mortgage double for a house that might be 20% larger. Nope. They're better off doing an addition. So that's keeping some of the trades busier. I think the top end of the market largely disappears. A lot of those numbers that push the number up, a lot of those are people that get big, huge year-end bonuses. That's not happening this year. I'm me included. I'm not getting a major bonus this year, you know? And so that's also people that are attached to big dollar jobs. Guess what? Some of those big dollar jobs are disappearing. You know, there's different big dollar jobs. So I think that the top end of the market, they also invest based on how the stock market's doing. Well, we'll see how the stock market does next year. I'm not very confident. I think the banks are going to be in tougher trouble. I think that plenty of people buy for cash, but lots of people don't buy for cash. And I think that a lot of times too, that you're going to get a lot of the baby boomers that are just going to say, you know what, it's less expensive if we hire a nurse to bring them into our home than it is for us to go to assisted living, number one, or number two is then to sell the house and downsize. Selling the house and downsizing, I looked at the numbers. If you sell your house and downsize and try and rent, the number is almost exactly the same. You just gave up half your house size, if not 2/3. So I think that all lends itself to a 10 to 20% correction. Right now, this last quarter, as tracked by Fed, Federal Reserve Bank, as you look at that, it's down like 4.2 or 4.3% from peak. And so that's median sales price. And so I think this quarter is going to be rough. I think that first quarter of next year is going to be rough. So I don't know that we hit the 10% number so if it's October, November, December, that number reports in February. I don't know if it's January, February, March, and that number reports in April. I don't know if it's the February number or the April number, but I think in one of those, I think we likely hit it, is my feeling. But again, for me, most importantly, my focus is always going to be on any deal at that time, what my cost of capital is and what my return on that capital is. So, and BF, I think you're largely the same. You have a ton of units. And so I'm still looking at stuff that if it's a great deal, what's my best use of capital? You know, is my best use of capital paying down something that's a 4% loan? No, I'm not a moron. My best use of capital in all likelihood is upgrading a unit, and I'm probably going to get a 20 to 30% return on that money. So I haven't bought a ton of stuff this year. I think when it's all said and done this year, I think I will buy 4 deals, 3 deals, 3 or 4 deals this year. Last year I did a dozen. The year before that, I did about the same. I did 8 to 10. But right now, my biggest returns are by far, my biggest returns are on redoing units. You know, I don't want to catch a falling knife. And I think right now, the market in some areas, right now, with the rule that they just changed, idiot government just spiked the market for all small multifamilies by saying you could do it 5% down and that there's no sustainability needed for those units. That's pretty awesome. So that means all those 2s, 3s, and 4s, which aren't counted in the median home sales price, all those 2s, 3s, and 4s flew off the market. We had 6 or 7 on the market and all of them went under contract, but 1. There's deals that I've not done that I normally would do only because the rates are 7.5 or 8. And so I'm looking for great transformational deals. You know, the jail as an example, that jail will have about a 9,000 taxes all in, will be about $9,000 a month. When the jail building's done, it will do about $17,000 a month of income. It's going to make $8,000 a month after expenses. I don't know that you're finding many deals out there. So that's $8,000 a month, $8,000 a month. And and all into that deal out of pocket, 200, you know, 200. But most importantly, we get to help people, you know, we get to help people. The market rents we're doing on the second floor, they're all market rents, but we get to help out 2 veterans on the first floor with ADA housing, which is disabled housing, you know, so they can roll out their front door and roll to a handicap spot and get on a bus or get picked up. They get their lives back. That's what I'm most excited about that project. It's the 2 ADA units. I actually hired an architect that served on the board, hired him, served on the board for ADA for 12 years. That's the guy I hired because I wanted them perfectly designed for somebody that was in a wheelchair. The indoor playground next to it, I'm so super excited to share that with you guys. As soon as we get approvals, I'll share that with you. The website's already built. But doing that project means we can make an impact on our community, not only for veterans who I love, and also for kids. I've got some of those. I generally like them. I like mine more than I like any others. However, it gives, you know, families that are short on money and might have to have mom come over and they can't afford to pay for a sitter. They can't afford to do that. And poor grandma, you know, sitting in the house, small 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment with a kid under 5 years old so mom can go work. Like, dear heavens, like, give that woman some reprieve. Like, give her an opportunity to get a break. Well, she can bring him or her to the indoor playground. They can play around for 2, 3, 4 hours and they can do it for under $10. That's what our goal is. That's what we want to do for people. So that's where I think projects like that are going to go. BF, hopefully that answers your question, my friend. So that's why I think they drop. I think that the jobs in the economy gets to be a problem. I think people start getting layoffs. I think big, expensive companies start laying off more people. And I think that people are just going to, you know, when everybody starts to tighten up, they just decide to stay put. That's what I think probably happens. Rob, well done. I had to teach my wife to do it so I could trailer the boat without switching back and forth. That's awesome. Josh Coster, what is the name of the diff video? I believe it's called that. I believe it's FDIC and diff or DIF. Something like that. JMYC, Millennial Mike. Hi, Mike. I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel too and notifications, but I never get notifications. How other people have the same issue. We all have the same issue with notifications. I have set notifications on both Dion and Millennial Mike, and I get maybe 1 in 4. It's not good. The math is not good. Did you ever do anything? Did you ever do anything worth that huge attic in that building across from the clock tower? I didn't. Great question. So Millennial Mike's asking about the central project. We never did anything with that space. Couldn't figure out what there was. We could have spent like $200,000. We could have spent 200 grand to get a unit up there. But the 200 grand wasn't worth it, especially when you add in that I would then have to sprinkle the entire building because then it's too big of a unit. So we decided not to do that. Let's see. Wealth Building Journey. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, Chester. Good to see you. All-Nighter Hider. I was going to type the tin panels for backsplash are great. Thank you, Hider. Hider's a construction guy. He knows. And when you can buy something that inexpensive that you can DIY, you can absolutely do that yourself. And think about this. My entire backsplash, these are the real numbers. My entire backsplash cost less than $100. Less than $100. You won't get out of that if you're doing tile, especially if you have to do all the tile work yourself. Even if doing the tile work yourself, you're not going to get out of it for less than $100. And then changing that is a nightmare. What do I want to do if I want to change my backsplash? And I use tin ceiling material like I use. I can take the panels down and I can repaint them and I can put them back up. That's how awesome the stuff is. I can change the entire look, the entire dynamic, and I can do that for 2 hours of labor, maybe 3. It's nothing. And yes, I have a cold. Richard Gamino, we just took advantage of our area's natural gas company's rebate on attic insulation. It would have cost $2,600 and $1,700. We paid a big fat $0. Guys, look at these energy programs. Try and utilize them. If you can, if you qualify for them, try it. Try it. Try. This is the difference between an operator and somebody's property that you're going to be buying for a fraction of the price in 5 years. I'm telling you. You can become elite at this. These are all the types of things that we look at, that we teach people to look at in the course. These are all the things that we expect that people are going to go out and just spend a little bit of time researching. And it's going to pay its weight in, it's going to pay for itself in minutes. Julie Anderson, I have 2 units on just renovating them. I'm having trouble filling them. I already lowered the price. Julie, sometimes it's the style of ad and how you have them apply. One of the things that we actually teach in our course is, and Millennial Mike worked with him, and one of his friends, Marina, to rewrite an ad. First couple weeks they had it out there. They had a bunch of responses, but no real qualified people. Had it go under lease and then fall out of lease. Then posted an ad with my ad and the style in which I do it. And they had, in 1 week versus 2, they had twice as many applicants, and they had 5 or 6 qualified, and they picked a great tenant. It can be a difference in ad writing. I don't charge an application fee. What I do is part of the method of the magic is based on the ad that I write and all the, marketing savvy that I've, done throughout the years and the science of marketing. Based on that, we've done, and then doing the open houses. It just works. It just works. I would do a rent box, make, kind of run the numbers rent box wise. That's what I would do. November's a brutal month anyway. November and December, like I say, in August, it starts to slow down. And in September, the number goes in half. And in October, the number goes in half. And in November, the number goes in half. And then in December, it's pretty much 0. So that's usually part of the problem is time of year. But I would run a rent box, see what all my competition's doing. That's what the rent box is for. And see if I can make some of those adjustments. The only other thing that I would say is then change process. And that's what we teach, is the process by which and what you should do in your process to get a better response with better quality tenants. Because you're going to get plenty of garbage tenants. Hey, I've got a good credit score. Well, my credit's a little bit rough right now. What is it? 412. And they never know. They're just like, I know it's a little rough right now. Like, cool. Take a screenshot of Credit Karma. Send it to me with your name on it. And then they send it and it's, oh yeah, that other one showed up. Gotta get that done too. Oh, you know what? Come to think of it, that jerk face didn't work yesterday. Oh, I'm going to torture him. That's why he didn't return my call. Turkey. BF, I hope prices do drop. I have cash waiting to pounce on deals. I want more doors. I'm with you. I want prices to go down too. All the Crash Bros think we don't want prices to go down. I really want prices to go down. It makes all the investors start buying. Like, yes, prices down, please. Yes, please. I'll have some more of that. I would like them to go down. I'd love a 40% correction. I don't need the equity in my other buildings. I don't need the equity. I want cash flow. That's what I like buying. All these people that are talking about buying equity, no. It can be part of your metric. Sure, it can be. It can be. It's not necessarily wrong that it could be part of your metric. But for me, I look at it as I'm buying an annuity. I'm buying a cash flowing asset. It's nice that over years it goes up. It's nice that over years that, some of my properties have doubled or even tripled over years. That's fine. That's nice. I can't spend that equity. I'm not trying to tap into that equity. I did once, but I did it when rates were at an all-time low. So I did it at 4%. So all my debt's at 4%. That's powerful. Rob, obviously I misread David's statement. Robert Farinelli, do you still think there will be a correction in small multifamily with the new 5%? No, I don't think there will be. I don't think there will be. Nope. I think there's going to be a correction in the median sales price of existing homes. I don't think there's going to be one in small multifamily until the numbers stop working. When we start to hit those ceilings of people having, vacant units for months, but that's wintertime. In springtime, I know I'm going to still be super busy and people don't run to move. They just don't. It's not what happens. Lumberjack, I'm rewiring a trailer. Any advice on wire splitting that's waterproof? So you can do the sleeved connectors, and then I just electrical wire tape around that. That's as good as you can usually get, unless you can have the harness completely separated, like on the ground, like on a workbench, and then you can spray that liquid rubber on it. I've done that when I built the harness off of a trailer. That worked really well. Didn't have any issues with it ever. It's Dion's fault. He made me get a Sea-Doo. Dion, such a bad influence. Josh Burdick, please tell me you named it Lumberjack Land. I didn't. We keep the identity separate. On purpose. Yeah, we keep the identity separate. I know, Mike, YouTube hates us, LOL. Trying to keep bigger pockets on top. Notifications suck on YouTube. I get 3 Meet Kevins daily. Unsuited a year ago and never watch. Unsubscribed, I bet. Yes, that's probably what you said. Sam Farho, good morning, sir. BuzzTune, in February, will you do some shopping for real estate in Vegas? Yes. Yep. Every time I go, I spend time with my agent. Every time. Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely shop. We'll definitely look at some stuff for sure. Yep. Family's not coming this time, so it's a whole lot easier. Yep. We definitely will. Or I definitely will. Sam Farho, if you buy 2 houses from the same owner, is that considered one loan of the 10 from Fannie Mac, even though they are 2 houses? It depends on how it's deeded. Yeah, it depends on how it's deeded. If it's in one transaction, I don't know that they'd make you split the transactions, but then they're tied together. So you can buy 2 from the same owner, but if they're deeded separately, then it could be done in the same closing, but you're still going to have 2 separate deeds. So yeah, they're going to do it based on that, I believe. Look up. You need ginger, garlic, unpasteurized honey, then soak for 45 minutes in Epsom salt. I don't have 45 minutes. What are you kidding me? That means I got to cut this short. Just a little sniffle. I love all those shorts about how men with the flu are like dying. Shut up. Oh, dear God. That's not a man or woman thing. That's a personality thing. It totally is. Yeah. I lived sick for years when I was on airlines. Try flying with head colds. It hurts. It's painful. And you know what you do? You'll cry. You're just like, it's a pain in my ass. That's the way it goes. And so that's okay. It's not a big deal. But yeah, those things are definitely personality types. It's definitely not a man or woman thing. All nighter. Good call, Mike. YouTube's algo does seem to be inconsistent and have a certain bias. Oh yeah. I've noticed it and read a lot of similar comments. It's so true. It's so true. I tested it because I don't like, negative stuff. So I tested it and I did that rental apocalypse series. It was 3 videos. Still to this day, they have the most views on my in my portfolio. Still to this day. Yeah. That came up and like YouTube sends you like quizzes of this, that, or the other. No joke. Yeah. Those are the most important ones. I mean, was I right? Yeah, but I don't want to be like all doom and gloom and rental apocalypse. It was going to happen then, and it largely did. You saw a ton of evictions. You saw them absolutely spike. Look up. Yep. The thaw is going to be an opportunity to redeploy. Absolutely. All nighter. Rob, there's heat shrink butt connectors. Yep. Then couple that with shrink tube. Yep. And you should be good. Yep. I've done all of those. That spray job, like that makes it inoperable thereafter. But the idea is if it's here, we deal with a lot of salt and sand. And so it will literally tear through tape and stuff. So when we do all that stuff, I'll spray that stuff on there with the connectors as well. And then it's less likely. Monica Galdamez. I got a subpoena. From a lawyer requesting my renter's information. The lease agreement, rent history. The renter has a case from 2005 that involves a death. How much info can I provide? That's really interesting. I don't know much about their case, and this did not come up on the background history. I'm worried about how much information I'm supposed to provide, if any. The renter has a 1-year lease. Interesting. Monica, I'm pretty sure the subpoena needs to be signed, and 2005 makes me wonder if there's a statute of limitation. Things to consider. I agree with that. I would do a if it were me, I would talk to an attorney. I would talk to my own attorney, and that way when he subpoenaed them. Ugh. I mean, by law, can you not provide that? If you're subpoenaed? Like if you don't show, you're in contempt. If you don't provide, I think you're still in contempt. Yeah. Waterproof trailer wire connection from 000. Any outdoor tubing? Yep. Slide over the connection. 100% silicone both ends. Zip tie in hidden location. Yes. In fact, that was one of the better deals that I got today too. I bought a bunch of zip ties for $10. I think it was 500 zip ties, and they're all different sizes. Guys, we use those. We need them. Have to have them. Yeah, and make damn sure you're liable to the subpoena. Yeah. Yeah, I would ask the attorney and just say, I don't feel comfortable just providing this information because it was subpoenaed. What is my responsibility here? And I mean, I think when records are subpoenaed, I think you have to provide them. I don't know a way around that. That's why he subpoenaed them. He just didn't ask you. I think that's what that is. So, yeah. Any other questions? Make sure you filter one in. But that being said, I hope you guys all had a super awesome Thanksgiving. I know I did, spending time with really close friends, not having our phones ring, because everybody was off. And so, I think that, hopefully you guys did enjoy your Thanksgivings, but Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. These are things that you should do. I don't need to provide you links to go find this stuff. All the things that I mentioned are all Home Depot things. That's a Black Friday we always watch very closely, because it's the one that's closest to us. So we do have a Lowe's that we can go to, but it's another 15 minutes away. And so largely we don't drive out there for stuff. So we're very comfortable with Home Depot. Sadly, this year we spent over 50 grand at Home Depot, which I'm not very happy about. I look at Home Depot often as ill preparedness. It means we needed stuff in the field that we didn't have, and we've got a truck for that reason. So we're going to evaluate that stuff this year and see if we can do better. See what stuff we were buying with any sort of regularity and make sure that we have that on the truck. Admittedly, yeah, we're growing as a business. We want to be able to do property management for other people. And the only way that we can do that is if I know that we are elite at what we do. Wealth building journey. It seems like the algorithm is going towards, if it bleeds, it leads. Absolutely it is. Salaciousness and clickbaity headlines seem to be the only thing it's promoting right now. Algos are subject to bias. 100%. It's the same reason I don't love AI. AI enabled process is great. AI run process is more than a little bit scary because it's all based on the data set. And if you ever want to argue AI with me, I'm game. I actually work in AI. So I'm happy to talk about AI anytime you want. AI and RPA, robotic process automation. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. So I've seen AI models start. I've seen them grow. I've seen them be created. I know how they work. I use ChatGPT for some things. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. Matt Motley, just joining this morning, but I know I'll be shopping for a new gas range. Yale Appliance says LG has been the most reliable for 2023. Bullsh. No way. I want to know how they calculate that. I don't believe them for 1 second. Nope. Not for 1 second. No way. Nope. I've never had an LG or Samsung that didn't break, ever. And we used them for a number of years because we bought into the line. Oh, it's best-selling line. It's the best-selling line. It's the best-selling line. And then I got smart and I was like, I wonder what's the best-selling line. And then I was like, oh, look at that. All the big retailers carry LG and Samsung, and they don't carry everything else because a lot of the other stuff is only brought through appliance stores, right? Actual appliance stores. So as I go through that process, yeah, I don't believe them. I believe that it might have, there's some way that they're skewing that number. So if you're that set up, Matt, on buying it, this is an attack. If you're that set on buying that particular appliance, what I would look at is how they calculate it. I would look at their math, how they calculate. Yep. I would look at how they calculate because usually their performance is fine. It's usually fine until year 3 or year 5 and you're replacing it. Yeah, that's how nuts it is. Year 3 or 5, I'm replacing something. Or I'm spending $300 or $400. I bought the thing for $700 or $800. I'm spending $400 replacing a part. That's the problem. Samsung and LG, they don't tell you, but they actually spray this coating on their on their electronics boards, which means that you can't replace a specific transistor. Can't. So you have to buy the whole board. The board, guess what was in major shortage for 2 years? Guess what's still in shortage for a number of them? Yep, those boards. They stopped making them. And so now to buy that board, you'd have to pay sometimes $300-400 secondary market to buy just the board. Then you got to pay to put it in. The machine's only $800. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't have that problem with any of the American made stuff. That's not true. One American made thing, one something made by GE had problems with those getting those boards, but we now can get them. BF. Oh, Josh Burdick, thank you very much for the super chat. BF lumber. I recently, gotcha. I recently had an elderly tenant call me in and he said he needs to move out due to him having a stroke and he needs to move into an assisted living facility. He only gave 1 week's notice. Thank you. Or 1 week's notice. I mean, you can keep the deposit. Would you keep his deposit? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. The only time I've done that is when they were a Section 8 tenant, and it was a non-smoking unit. They smoked. The place stunk. It had to be completely repainted. And so in that case, I used the money to, repaint. They'd only been there for 2 years. I used the money to repaint everything, get everything, perfectly clean, because they literally had not cleaned since the day they moved in. And that ate up all of their deposit. In that case, I didn't return their deposit. If they left the place in rentable condition, then I would just give it back. I'd give it back. That's me. All nighter, Motley. You'll like this video. Matt touches on appliances. Oh, thank you. I like RPAs, but for financial modeling and low level, routine tasks. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, we do. You can get pretty complex in RPA, and that's what I've done for, like I said, 16, 18 years. I work in the hospital space. So yeah, been doing RPA for a real long time. AI too. And most stuff isn't AI. Some stuff is, but you can know real quickly if AI is real based on the fact that it's pulling from data sets. The problem is that not every single task can be run based on historical data sets. Some can. Like if I were an actuary, I'd be a little bit nervous. All-nighter. Best-selling equates to marketing, not scrupulous buyers. That's exactly right. Yep. Samsung appliances are the worst. Never buy them. Stick with GE and Whirlpool. BF, I second that. Well done. Monica Galdames. Thank you, All-Nighter Hider. And Matt, you're very welcome. I hope that helps. We can't give legal advice. I wouldn't feel right giving you legal advice. The best thing you can do is consult with an attorney. It's a free consultation. Consult with them and say, I'm looking for an attorney. I was subpoenaed for some rental records. I want to understand if this is the type of case that you would handle if I needed to, if they sued me about getting these records, what's my liability? They're able to tell you that liability and say, hey, this is what I would do. That way, if you get sued, you've already had the conversation with them and you put yourself in a good position to know exactly who you need to hire in the beginning. Matt Motley, based on how many service calls were made versus how many units sold. Yep, I believe they only measure for 1 year after sold. Yeah, there's almost nothing like, GE will have a recall item or things like that. The problem is that LG and Samsung are by far, if you look at a 5-year span, I've had nothing but issues with them. I have a GE refrigerator from 1973. 1973 still works great. Whirlpool, GE, Maytag. Make sure they're not a rebranded model. That's one thing you have to make sure of, because they do sell rebranded models. Sorry. Hi, Matt. I hope all is well. I hope all is well with you, my friend. What is the best microwave for built area above the range? Great question. I buy a lot of GEs, and Black Friday is the time to buy them. Yep, I buy a lot of GEs. Guys, you can buy from Home Depot, but I really like buying from local appliance guys, and here's the biggest difference. If your local appliance guy services what he sells, that is worth its weight in gold. When we had appliances that we bought from Best Buy or bought from big box stores, Lowe's and Home Depot, we literally had gotten bills for or wait times of 6 weeks. Can you go back to a tenant and say, too bad, so sad on your fridge for 6 weeks? No. But if they service what they sell, usually they can find a way to squeeze you in on a refrigerator. And that's important. We actually keep a hot swap fridge, tiny 18 cubic foot fridge, but it at least means we can bring it into a unit same day. We can plug it in. And then if we have to wait 3, 5, 7 days for someone to come service it, they at least have a fridge. Agreed, BF. I have all-nighter. Sorry. Yeah, only measure 1 year. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Monica. Agreed. Thank you, Hyder. Agreed, BF. I've heard a lot of bad things about Samsung appliances. Totally agree. Yeah, by best I mean most reliable. I would go GE, or I would go Whirlpool Gold or Maytag Gold. Like they have like a higher end line. I would go with some of those better quality products. Yep, that's what I would do. BF, I kept his deposit only because he had some damages. Yep, that ate up most of the deposit, so I kept the small balance. I did refund him his key and pet deposit. Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. It's we only did it because, again, it was, and we spent over. We spent like 1,500, 1,800 bucks over, and so I didn't send him a bill for that. And I was like, I just sent it to him and I just said, here's, what the balance was, but we've taken care of the balance for you. Wish you all the best. Cassidy. Hey, Cassidy. It's been a while. Good to have you here. California just passed a law that starting next July, the deposit can only be 1 month's rent and no larger. What sort of blowback do you anticipate from this? In my state, it's the same law. It's only 1 month's rent, no larger. And we can't charge last month's rent. So we only charge first deposit and first month's rent. That's all we can charge. It's never been an issue, honestly. I can count on two hands the number of people that we've left us with more damage than what their deposit was. If these college kids go in and they, wreck up a place or whatever, it's like, it's $3,200 as a deposit. It's a big deposit to pull from. That's a lot of door fixes, floor fixes, all sorts of stuff. So yeah. Mike Chopik, isn't FDIC $250K per entity? It is. It is. It's actually $250K per account. But do I want to go down that? What happens if the fund runs out? Right? FDIC can run out. There's not that much money in there. That's why the Feds had to jump in, like SVB and these other banks that failed so magnificently. They could have gone through that FDIC fund if 4 or 5 more banks of that size had gone away. They could have run through that. That's why they massively raised their deposit rates or the insurance rates on other big banks. Scott Coleman, I just got a message from President-elect Javier Milei of Argentina. He said, listened to the Lumberjack. That dude saves money. Thanks, Scott Coleman. I know, Javier. Congratulations. Man, that dude's fire. Oh, it's going to be an interesting, term. Hopefully he lives through it. All-nighter. Yes, Mike, $250K per account. Just know FDIC is fractional insurance. Yep. They only have about 3 cents every dollar they insure. It's exactly right. Yeah. So they say 250K, but if multiple banks fail or a bunch of banks fail, yeah, it's pennies on the dollar that they actually have. And then what will they do? Then they'll start to play with it. That's why at the very least, I'm in a bank and a credit union at the very least. Yep. Anything above that 3 cents gets printed. Wealth building journey, Mike, $250 per person, entity per bank. Yep. HNWIs usually purchase additional insurance to hedge against GFC. Yep. SVB style failures and losses. Yep. And you can also look at Massachusetts Bank with DIFs. You can look at, you can really spread your risk. A bank in Mass, a credit union, something like that. You can absolutely put yourself in a position like that. And then, maybe a high yield account. But if 250 is the number, like how many $250,000 accounts do you need? How many do you have? Right. So Ninja Vanish, good morning. Good morning, Ninja Vanish. Good to have you. BF, I buy my appliances from RC Wiley. They will beat any competitor's price and free deliveries. Yep, RC Wiley's strong. I have my Lumberjack appliance list saved on my phone. Awesome, Julie. Good. I'm glad I could help. BF, yeah, so RC Wiley. So RC Wiley is a big like website brand. We've never used them. We still really need that service. So if we have a down service issue, we can't wait a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And so we'll still spend a little bit more money. We'll work with, we'll look at what other prices are and we'll just bring it to the appliance store and say, hey, can you guys do it for this price? If you can, awesome. I know they're still making money at that price. Then it's just up to them if they want to do it or not. But then I can have, my guys deliver it, pick it up, do all that stuff. So for me, it's much more about the service side of it, not the actual act of just buying the appliance. Look up. Your children have a genuine Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer in the house. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my goodness. Actually, my lovely daughter gave this to me. Daughter number 2, Bryn. She gave that to me. The wealth building journey, Mike Chubik, but you have to ask the bank about supplemental insurance for amounts over 250K. Yes. I believe it's tiered insurance, but check to confirm. Yes. Great exchange. Donka. Farewell, everyone. See you. Look up. All-nighter. Short-term T-bills are a good option now too. Short-term, like up to 2 years, I think. So the thing that I don't love is I don't want it in T-bills only because I never know when that deal is going to come. One day I didn't know about a deal. The next day I knew about a deal that was going to sell for about 40% off. I had to be able to do that deal. I couldn't not do that deal. And if I had my money tied up in a T-bill, I wouldn't get access to it. So Cassidy Iman, any advice on feeding a huge child? My boy is 1 year old and close to 40 pounds. He drinks 4 gallons of milk per week on average. If ever there was a driving force to kick my investing butt into gear. Oh, dear God. None of my kids were big eaters like that. Congratulations, I guess. Oh my goodness. In all honesty, what I would probably do is I would try and get some sort of a deal with a local dairy farmer. Try and do something like that. If he's going through 4 gallons, like 16 gallons a month, I mean, we go through but we're a family of 6. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, you better get invested, man. Chop, chop. Wealth building journey, 1000% agree. That's risk spreading, split up the money between FDIC insured banks and NCUA insured credit union. Exactly. I'd recommend Navy Federal Credit Union for my fellow vets. Yeah, if you guys are vets, you guys got to be leveraging programs that are created for you. Use your veteran loan for your veteran mortgage. Guys, you deserve it. It was taxpayers pay money into a lot of these programs, or the federal government makes rules for those companies that want to service our vets. There's a reason for that. You guys have earned it. Use it. Use it. Use it. Please. BF Cassidy buy a cow. That was my thought. I thought a next step below that, though. Don't buy the cow. Just do a contract with a dairy farmer. BF, if RC Wiley is out of stock, I will always check Best Buy, Home Depot, and Lowe's for appliances. Yeah, don't love them because the service. Again, it's a service thing. It's a service thing. I need that service. I need it fast. And I know when something goes down, I can call that guy. And even if I'm spending a little bit of money more on the product, most of those small companies will price match too. Master Coach University, we get a lot of people asking, what are your requirements when getting inquiries on 1-bedroom units? What kind of response should I give? You should have in your ad what you're asking them for. What we ask for is we ask for them to provide their Credit Karma credit score. We ask for them to provide a month's worth of pay stubs. And we ask for them to, we let them know if you've ever been evicted before, then we don't accept evicted tenants. I post that in my ad, and usually if people will not read it, and then they'll ask, and then I'll still send them back an email. I have a standard email. It's literally a form. Send it back and say, fill this out, get back to me. If they don't fill it out, then they weren't hanging around. They weren't going to rent from me anyway. Cassie, some land and a cow is becoming tempting. I get it. You got a house and home. Ninja Bears, Fidelity puts cash left in your accounts into a core position mutual fund that invests it in government bonds and treasuries. Currently pays about 5%. Yeah, those high yield accounts for sure. Lars, I ladder 1 month T-bills. Yep. So a certain amount of money is always available every week. Smart. I think the challenge is that a lot of times, and again, just different place in the journey, I need access to, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, and if I'm in a 6-month bill, kind of screwed. And even 1 month's, yeah, don't have the time, effort, energy, and I don't want to pay somebody to manage that. But yeah, if Social Security is still in business, at what age will you start taking it? Me? Oh, I'm not going to see Social Security. No way. They're going to write wealthy people out for sure. Yeah, I'm not seeing a dollar. I'm 46, so I think I can start collecting it, whatever, 60, 62, or 65, or 67. I'm not going to see it. I won't see it. No. Nope. Rich Camillo, go elite by the goat. Richard, that's a true statement right there. That's elite. That's elite right there. And you don't have to wait for cash to settle. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Fidelity knows I don't do a lot with my brokerage accounts. I'm going to start spending more time with. We use a wealth advisor, and he's like, I'm like, we're not changing the strategy. I said, but I do have like a 401k and things like that when I retire, I'm gonna need somebody to take care of. BF, what do you do for health insurance as small business owner? HMOs are a no-go. Yeah, they're a no-go for me anyway because my daughter had cancer. They're a huge no-go. We don't have time for stupid referrals. I have a Cadillac plan. Well, I have a Cadillac plan through work now. That's why I've kept the W-2. I'm changing it. And so we're changing it to it's like a Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, reasonable deductible. Actually, it's a high deductible. But it's just going to be based on the numbers, and then we'll figure out like secondary insurance to cover the deductible type of thing. But I have a healthcare broker for that. We try to get all that stuff set up for basically next year. So that's what we did. LED lights are on sale too. I loaded up. Yes, sir. That's the way to do it. Jason Ray, thank you very much for the super chat. Matt, 80s single wide 2.2 trailer. Okay. On its own 3-acre lot. Plumbing, heating, updated, needs cosmetic kitchen, 85 all in, rent 13 to 1400 bucks. Would you consider? Yep, I would. I would. I know 80s. So what you want to look at is there's a break or a cutoff with Section 8. If it's 1983, I think 1983 or newer, they pay a different standard than if it's 1982 and older. I would want to look and see exactly what year it is. And then that sounds like a perfect Section 8 unit, in all honesty. And Section 8, where we are, that would pay like 17 a month for that unit, 16 or 17 a month for that unit. It's crazy. Yeah. Let's see. BF, do you have an option between HMO or PPO? Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I don't know that there is. Jason Ray, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I would consider it. I mean, just based on the cash, right? Can you get debt on the 85K? That's the question, right? And those are sometimes hard to finance. Sometimes they're at a more expensive rate. But again, whatever the rate is, if I'm making $400, $500 a month, it's a no-brainer. Like $500 a month on whatever the payment is, but it's, taking up almost nothing, none of your balance sheet. So yeah, I like those. Cassidy. Oh, there we are. Cassidy. I wanted to thank you, you and Orat tremendously. You're very, very welcome. Because of your advice, being laid off the last month has been significantly less stressful while I'm in between jobs. I'm glad to hear that. With current expenses and savings, if I did nothing, we could live for 10 plus years without any issue. Proud of you. That's hard. It's hard to get there. And, hey, don't worry about the job. You'll find another one. There's plenty of them out there. And even when there aren't, you'll get one. You'll land one. But I'm glad. It's much less stressful being laid off when we don't have to worry about how your bills are getting paid. BF, I have to pay $2,000 per month for PPO. Yep. Health insurance for myself and my wife. We are 58 and 54. Yeah. So, we are 46. I'm 46. My wife is in her 30s. And then I've got 4 kids. And ours was not 2,000 a month. Ours was closer to 27 a month. $2,700 a month. It's basically $100 a day for health insurance. So we're going to kind of figure that out. But my wife's a nurse. And that doesn't help us a lot. Helps us a little bit. Because she'll go back to work after the kids are all in school. She'll go back to work. Or maybe when we have a sitter or something like that, or me a couple of days a week or something when I retired, she'll go back to work and then we'll get insurance through that. And then that will save us a significant amount of money because she'll always be employable as a nurse. Yep. Wealth building journey. I've been looking at Aetna Gold and Platinum plans. Only thing I see are higher deductibles that are the main distinguishing feature at Aetna Bronze. That's true. That's the difference. Yeah, Cassidy, again, congratulations. I agree with Hyder. BF, wealth building journey, only PPO. Yep, only PPO. Yes, sir. Yep, the wealth building journey, BF, you don't have to answer, but in your case, you're comfortable with answering which health insurance provider. Yep. Keith Hager, seek and you shall find a credit union paying 4.3% interest on checking average balance. Congratulations. That's awesome. Yeah, I got to look and see what ours is. I think it's in the 3s. It's in the 3s. Yep. Yeah, well, I believe deductibles vary widely between providers is why I'm asking. So it also varies greatly, Chester, in states. No joke. So we looked at everything. We looked at what I would recommend to you guys is you need to get a broker. You need to get a health insurance broker. Yes. Yep. Get a health insurance broker. They will help you make nonsense. They will help you turn all that nonsense into something. I got a broker. They brought to me 5 or 6 options. We quickly narrowed it down. He's like, I just wanted to present all 6 options to you. These 4 I would not consider. These 2 I think are your best. He was absolutely right. We walked away from a bunch of different plans, and I think the 2 best plans were Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. We're in a unique situation, and so I'll share with you guys just a little bit. We're in a unique situation because my daughter got sick. She had cancer. She's all better now. We received our miracle. She is amazing. She is the most like me out of our kids, and so super blessed that she made it through. Her healthcare costs were about $1.7 million. And all of her specialists are not in our state. So we couldn't use the state, the Obamacare stuff. We couldn't use that. We couldn't use an plan. We had to use a great plan. Because even when she goes in every 90 days, she goes in for a bone scan, an MRI, and a CT. She has to go under anesthesia, pediatric anesthesia. That day costs over $100,000 that one day. I have to have amazing insurance. And that's fine. It's okay. I'm happier that bill goes to me that can afford it than somebody that can't. But yeah, that's why I'm going to have to pay 30 grand a year for health insurance until my wife goes back to nursing. So that's how it goes. But that makes sense. Likely to cost more in California or other high cost of living locales. Yeah, Ken. Yep. All-nighter. Yes. She is an angel. That is for sure. Yeah, she's awesome. You see her on the time here, Eliana. She's amazing. And we're super blessed that she got better. She had an 8% chance of living 4 months. So our Thanksgiving is pretty easy to be grateful. She was given an 8% chance to live 4 months. That was at 5 months old. And so she is now 29 months, 20, she's 30 months now, 30 or 31 months now. And we are blessed to say that she just got clean scans again this last week. So yeah, I work with a Canadian company, and I can tell you every dinner I have with my Canadian colleagues, I hear horror stories about the ED. I waited 6 hours. I waited 8 hours. I waited 12 hours. I was sent home because they didn't have enough staff to bring us in. And they said, we don't know when we can bring you in. America's a pretty awesome place. We're not perfect. We make a lot of mistakes, but it's a pretty awesome country. We have a lot to be grateful for. The toughest thing that we have is how much our foam plans are this month, or how much a 2x4 costs. It's not like that in a lot of other places in the world. And so I don't care by what metric these morons measure the healthcare system. Here's what I can tell you in the States. I go to an ED and I'm seeing a doctor. And I'm actually seeing an actual doctor, not an intern. And so we live in a pretty awesome country. So we have a lot to be thankful for. Wealth building journey. She is a miracle. She is. She's absolutely a miracle. That is amazing. She beat the odds. We are happy for you. Thank you, Ninja Vanish. Wow, Lumberjack, amazing story. Only the best for you and your family. Thank you very much. Boomer 1964 just joined to hear about Eliana. Great news. Thanks, Boomer. Good to see you, Don. Yeah, guys, she did it. It was a miracle. We had thousands of people praying for my daughter, and she made a friend while she was going through treatment. And sadly, her friend didn't make it. Same kind of cancer. We live in a part of the country where they treat that kind of cancer. To give you an idea of how rare it is, 25 children a year get diagnosed with that cancer. 25. I mean, I should have bought a lottery ticket. Damn. My daughter's the only one who survived the last 2 years with that cancer. It's nothing short of a miracle. Nothing short. There's no difference between my daughter and the other 50 kids that were diagnosed. There was only one difference. We got a miracle. That's it. That is it. So I'm so happy to hear continuing good news about your daughter. She is absolutely blessed to have you as a father. Thank you, Cassie. I really appreciate that. I certainly do try. Not perfect, but we certainly do try. And we have fun while we're doing it. BuzzTune, incredible. Love to hear. Thank you. Yeah, it's guys, I can tell you, I've been in a bunch of other countries and I've seen health events in other countries, and it is nothing like the US. It's nothing like the US. So every time you get frustrated, just recognize, I can tell you from experience, other countries just to north of our border, I can tell you it's a completely different world. Completely different world. I wonder if she will watch these videos later on in life and hear this testimony. Oh, she absolutely will. We talk about it all the time. My daughter has a 9-inch scar. She's only 2.5. She has a 9-inch scar, basically just above her belly button to all the way about almost around the backside of her back. They had to keep on cutting because they couldn't get the tumor out. It was that big. It was the size of a softball. It had completely engulfed her kidney. She had spots on her liver. She had spots on her sternum. She had spots on her upper rib cage. She got little tattoos because they had to do proton therapy for that. So we did 30 rounds of chemo. And then we did, I think it was either 16 or 19 proton therapy treatments. That was a rough year. That was a rough year. But we're grateful. We got to the other side of it, you know? And more importantly, my daughter's still alive. And yeah, we're just super, super blessed about that. Yeah, the odds were insane. JMIC, what kind of cancer? She had what's called a malignant rhabdoid tumor. Malignant rhabdoid tumor. You can look it up. It is one of the nastiest, most aggressive tumors. She was 5 months old when she was diagnosed. 4 months old. She was just turning 5. And she was stage 4 at 5 months old. She was stage 4. And typically you can cut out a tumor and you leave healthy margins and usually you're okay. This tumor doesn't just grow, it attaches. It attaches like ivy and wraps around. It's nasty, it's insidious. And as you can imagine, for a cancer that only impacts 25 kids a year, they're not making anything for that person. They're not making any treatment for those 25 kids. It's all about what they can do with other stuff that's already commercially available. And so, yeah, it was an amazing journey. We were super blessed through the journey. My wife and I was at home 140 days with my kids in quarantine. We couldn't go anywhere because my daughter had 0 T cells. And so we were quarantined the entire time. It was a horribly hard year. But we had to pull my oldest out of school because he couldn't go to school anymore. And we were quarantined. And so I remember every single day, my day started between 5:30 and 6 in the morning, and it stopped around midnight or 1 in the morning. And it was brutal. It was awful. But we're a very close family now. I think we were always close. Not sure that we needed that, but whatever, God knew. And more importantly, we got our miracle. And she is a fighter like you read about. And so she fights everything. I'm grateful that it was her personality type, but she goes to the doctors and I want her to be proud of her scar. And so I'm always like, hey, show that person your scar. And so she gets so excited and she pulls up her shirt. And she's like, my scar. And I want her to identify that as not something to be ashamed of or embarrassed about, but something to be proud of. She went through something that most people will never go through. And she lived through something that almost no one lives through. And so, yeah, it was a total miracle. Ninja Vanish. Wow. Crazy odds. Yep. All-nighter. Yes. Testimony. Yep. Lumber. You really are a great guy. Do you want to adopt me? You're older than me. I think you need to adopt me. I'm a good son. My son was born with his liver hanging out. Oh, had to rush to surgery and sew him up hip hop. Yeah. Oh, sew him up hip to hip. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Jason Ray, how do we get a stacked Northeast table at the VIP Zuber deal going? I mean, I'm ready. Like, I can't wait to hang out with you guys. The good news is, here's the good news. I'm not speaking at all on Saturday. Not that I know of. I'm not speaking at all on Saturday. I'm literally just there to hang out. I don't have to go to the event. I'm going just to hang out with you guys. Because I'm not speaking at all on Saturday. I want to go and I want to meet Derek, that ADU guy. I want to meet Simon, spend some time with him. I genuinely like him as a person. And then all of you guys. You guys have all been part of my journey. Hopefully I've been able to be a part of yours, and I'm excited to spend time with you. Take pictures, anything you guys want. Like, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to, I mean, if you want a picture, I mean, but yeah, truly, whatever you guys want. I'm excited to be there and spend time with you guys. After a year, he was resewn vertically and now has manufactured belly button, exclamation mark. Richard Camino, definitely a miracle. She's meant for greatness in this world. She absolutely is. She is awesome. She is, she will accomplish amazing things. I'm very excited to be there for it. Sarcasm and Glory, what advice would you give to a veteran trying to look for a job, currently in school getting my MBA? Thank you for your service. And I don't mean that lightly. A lot of people easily say that because it's a soundbite, but I don't. Give me just 1 second here. Oh, my mirror was delivered. Holy cow. Dear God. That's all Wayfair right there. What I would do is I would all Wayfair. What I would do is I would look for some of the veterans organizations around you guys. I would look potentially for, oh my goodness. I would look for veterans agencies, like placement agencies. I would call, depending on what your interest is. But I would look at veterans agencies. I would, that's the first thing I do. Other vets that are in here, you guys tell me. I'm not a vet ever having tried to get a job. So the only thing that comes to mind for me is getting in front of people that hire vets or somebody that represents vets. I can't think of any other way, but I would get a good headhunter, multiple headhunters. I would look online to see, hey, placement agencies or headhunters, depending on what type of job you're trying to get. And somebody that has experience with veterans, because very often they have pipelines into companies that hire veterans. I think that's the best advice I can give you. All-nighter. He was only in the NICU for a month, a light load comparably. Yeah, dude, a month in the NICU is brutal. Yeah, because when Ashley would go down, my wife, she would be down there for five days or so. It was usually either 5 days, 4 days, or 2 days is how long she was down. And if it was a 2-day, then she would be home for a day or two and then back down for a day or two, to do all the vitals checks and white blood cells and all that other stuff. Like, my daughter had less than 100 white blood cells at one point. So yeah, it was amazing. My son's not ashamed. No, he shouldn't be. No, be proud. Made it through. It's a blessing. Boomer, her top prize trophy, her scar. Absolutely. Totally agree. All nighter, you're going to love Simon in person. I'm going to love seeing you meet. Oh, dude, I'm going to have a hard time not hugging the dude. I mean, he's just, guys, if you want to know about the channels that I watch, that's who I watch. I watch Uneducated Economist. He is the real deal. He's a worker, just like me. I love doing what I'm doing. It keeps me apprised of a lot of things. He saved me an absolute fortune when it came to lumber. He knew and he understood. He explains things in ways about the economy that I feel, but I don't know. And he helps me get across that gap. And we've done a number of collaborations together and I enjoy every single one. I know he's been super, super busy. And that's why I want to do another one with him again, just kind of talking about where we are, state of the country, state of the market, etc. Because I just think he's spectacular, and anything that he brings and that I can help augment and add to his message regarding housing, I obviously want to do that. And I share experiences. So yeah, I'm very excited to meet him. Yep. A little bit fanboyish, honestly, for him and that ADU guy too. Both of those guys. I watched a good amount of both their content. Basilio, every time I hear the word Vegas on the live videos, I get so excited. I can't wait to meet you all over there. Agreed. I'll hang out with Dion and Mike at Denny's before the conference. Yeah, I've heard that there was a Denny's meetup. I wasn't invited. Mike and Dion, you jerk faces. I think that they just didn't think to invite me, but I'm probably going to be there because I think we're all talking about when we're going to show up. Vegas is going to be a blind family reunion. I'm excited too. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Denny's is a must. I agree. Sarcasm and Glory. Thank you. You're welcome. Let me know how it goes. Keep me posted. Definitely look for headhunters on LinkedIn. There's plenty of them out there. because you will find veterans organizations, they have placement people. That's going to be your best bet. But get a LinkedIn account, get a bunch of connections, connect to anybody that you served with, connect to as many people as you possibly can, other veterans agencies. Network is your net worth. That's something that, you've spent time, considerable, different time with people, with your life on the line. So make sure that you're leveraging that. You're reaching out to those people. As someone who has been applying to a ton of jobs lately, the diversity of questions that include veteran status per application is nearly 100%. Totally agree with you. VA is hiring in our state to process hunting for your exact problem, helping other vets, one vet to another. Good. Yep. Guys, thank you for putting that in there. Keith Hager, smash the like button. Thank you, Keith. Cassidy, I don't know if that gives you a leg up, but it is an additional checkbox. I think, let's put it this way. If you're equal to somebody else and you're a vet, yep. Right. And that's kind of the way it should be. All-nighter, and Simon, educated economist, is a genuinely good dude. There's no BS with him, just pure raw desire to learn and understand. Love it. I totally agree. That's why I've liked working with him so much. BuzzTune, thank you for sharing these stories. Worth it to be nice, because you never know what someone else is going through in their life. True story. I mean, most people didn't know. We kept it kind of quiet, and then we did have to make the announcement at least at a certain point. But just wanted to give people hope. We have a great, great country, and we have people that defended our country to keep us safe and give us the life that we have. And we also, even though it can be frustrating in our health system sometimes, it's not the best in the world, but I don't want to hear about the bullshit about how it's 27th. Give me a fucking break. Sorry. It's not. It's just not. The elite number of people that I came into contact with my daughter's care team, elite. You know where other countries send those cases? They send them here. Because in other countries, you know what they do? They put those kids on comfort measures and they basically watch them die. And they don't do that in our country. And that's because we respect life. And that's what makes our country special, in case you didn't know. So I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week. Try and create great content for you all the time. Sorry I was under the weather today. Hopefully all this stuff is valuable when it comes to all the cool things that you guys can go shopping for. Go hit those things. Go hit those sales. Go do some of that stuff. Make sure you have things that make you better. But I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Cute.